The next game is always the biggest game, but today's AFC West showdown between the 2-1 Raiders and the 2-1 Broncos in Denver was President Trump huge. Welcome to Vegas Nation. I'm Bryan Salmond. Now, the game started off well for the Broncos as they took a early 10-0 lead in the first quarter, but behind Khalil Mack and his 2 sacks, the Raiders stayed close. Derek Carr went out in the third quarter with an injury, but Manuel stepped in and led the Silver and Black back to within 6 points. Plus, he got the ball back with just over 4 minutes remaining, but the Broncos would get a late interception and defeat the Raiders 16-10, improving to 3-1, while the Silver and Black fell to 2-2. For more on the big game, let's head to Denver with Michael Gehlken and Ed Graney.
Hey everyone, it's Ed Graney, Michael Gehlken here at Sports Authority Field in Denver. Another game for the Raiders, another loss for the Raiders. 16-10 to the Broncos. Michael, get right to the main story. Derek Carr, quarterback for the Raiders, goes down with a back injury. Tell us what happened, and going forward, what do you think?
Right, they lost the game, but the big story on Sunday is that they did not lose Derek Carr long-term. That was the prognosis post-game. Jack Del Rio said back spasms, that's what it was, and Derek Carr, while not directly acknowledging the spasming, said, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain, but also Del Rio and Carr both expressing optimism that Derek has at least a chance to be on the field Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens. So this does not look to be a significant type of long-term injury that you fear when you see Derek Carr be wrangled down the field. Look like he might have taken a knee to the lower back. A scary moment here at Sports Authority Field, but again, while the Raiders did lose this game, Derek Carr should be back on the field in soon enough short order.
What were your thoughts of Manuel? He comes in, he's a pro, he started in Buffalo, so he had been here before in terms of coming into an NFL game. Thought he made some plays, took him down the field a few times. You're trying to make a play there in the end on the interception that ends it, but how did you think he responded? Yeah,
he responded well. I think so much of that moment back in December when Derek Carr went down, it wasn't just that Derek Carr went down and was out for the season because of the fractured fibula, but it was also what happened after that. There was that linger, and with just McGloin and Cook and just quarterback play that was terrible after he exited. This day was different, not only because it was good news for Derek, but it was Manuel, aside from the interception at the end that sealed it, all in all was able to get this offense going. You have to give Manuel some credit for stepping in the way he did.
Baltimore on Sunday comes in struggling as well. What do you think happens next?
I'm fascinated to see what comes of the Raiders' cornerback situation, not just for this coming Sunday, but I think long-term it's fascinating. You look at David Amerson. He suffered a concussion that's at least a 4th of his career. He exited early in this one. He has 3 concussions in about 13 months, which is concerning.
Not good.
Not good. And there's so much about brain injuries that we don't know, but we just know that that's not good. And Garyon Conley, he was not active this game because of that shin injury. And so you had a lot of players, including Sean Smith, who the Raiders found themselves relying upon, who not necessarily were players who they'd be getting a lot of snaps to otherwise. So, give it credit to that group for responding and not being the reason why ultimately the Raiders lost this game.
Finally, Jack Del Rio said it afterwards. Blame him. He's the coach. I do think coaching decisions early in the game, it's a hard one. It's 4th and 1. You have Marshawn. If you kick the field goal there, you're going for a field goal in the end and not a touchdown to tie. Also, the fake punt was a complete disaster. That didn't work out. So, in your estimation of coaching the last 2 weeks, how much better does he have to get?
Well, that's your job as a columnist. I'm not.
Okay, he has to get a lot better.
But I think Jack Del Rio will be the first one to say, and he has been these past 2 weeks, that he needs to get better. He takes certain things upon his shoulders, and fake calls like that on the Marquette Keem punt, and by the way, him throwing the football afterwards.
Yeah, that didn't help.
That didn't help. But Del Rio is going to be the first one to say, I got to get better.
All right, so there you have it, 16-10. The Raiders now 2-2 coming home. Sunday, the Baltimore Ravens will be in Oakland. Need a win there. They still haven't played Kansas City. They get Denver again. So it's a quarter of the season, but Kansas City wins on Monday night. They go to 4-0. Now you're really chasing. Here at Sports Authority Field, it's Ed Graney, Michael Gehlken. Read all of our stuff at reviewjournal.com and join us here on Vegas Nation each day.
All right, appreciate it, guys, in Denver. We're here now in studio, as always, with my guy, Gehlken Manzano, NFL writer for the RJ. And Gilbert, what can you say about the Raiders' offense? Amari Cooper, I don't know if he's still on the team. Michael Crabtree didn't play, and neither did Amari Cooper and Jared Cook. Catch the ball?
They were actually out there playing.
Oh, they played?
But I guess you couldn't really tell what the Broncos defense shut them out. But yeah, that's kind of a surprise with the Raider offense. Who would have thought that the Broncos would have an easier time with the offense instead of the defense? The defense had a great game, right?
But yeah, the Raiders' defense. Who would have thought that the defense would be better at the offense at this point in the season?
Yeah, it's strange. You know, the cornerbacks did their job, especially the front seven that, you know, created, you know, a lot of sack opportunities with Mario Edwards Jr. and Khalil Mack, obviously. You need Mack to play like that most of the game, but usually you're counting on the offense to give you more than 10 points. So it was a strange feel, and with Derek Carr going out, it was just bad overall.
How do you think that their mindset is, I guess, right now, the fact they're 2-2 going home, and they have a good game, at least for them, next week?
You know, right now, I'm sure they're not feeling, you know, too well, especially with Carr, you know, having his back injury. Who knows what's going to happen with that? So, and that really kind of showed you how big of a win. I mean, it could have been a victory if they won in Washington. Now you lost 2 in a row. Now you might not have Derek Carr. Hopefully, it's not that bad. But at least they get to go home and play a tough Baltimore team and try to get back on track. But the offense needs to show up if they want to win some games again.
I agree. Folks, did you see how Gilbert said that a tough Baltimore team and had a straight face?
Hey, they were 2-0 at one point, right? Am I right? No, I don't know.
No, there you go. All right, folks. Gilberto Manzano, NFL writer for Review Journal. Of course, you can catch his articles at reviewjournal.com. Appreciate it, my man.
Sounds good.
The Raiders are back in Oakland for a 3-game homestand. Up next, the Baltimore Ravens, a team that isn't playing all that well right now, so that's a good thing. Also, remember, Derek Carr left the game with an injury. All of Raider Nation right now holding their breath as results of that are coming back. But for now, I'll leave you. This is Vegas Nation. I'm Bryan Salmond. See you guys next week.